Jacob, aka Desert Bloom. We are finally back out. I know that seems weird because it's not gray and there's not water falling from the sky, but we've actually made it out on a pretty day. We're at the Bear Hollow Mountain Wildlife Management Area. We're gonna go see the walls of Jericho. It's a super short trip. This is really just a gear shakedown for me and my content partner there, Stop and Go, to do some shakedown for the upcoming Sheltowee through hike we're gonna do. We're gonna try to nail it out in 2 weeks. It's ambitious, but we've got some new things that we're gonna play with at camp. We're gonna try it out, and we're not gonna know what to do with this sunny weather.
I don't even know. That orange thing in the sky is tripping me out. I don't know what
It's weird. We'll see if these pale legs and these shouts can handle it. So let's get on this trail.
You got your puff.
All right, as soon as you come out of the parking lot, you run into the sign here. We're going to be taking a left to go the 4.3 miles back to the wall campsite. Of course, you can see here, you can make a different loops, but there's a cool, decent overlook over here. You can imagine different parts of the year, but there's also this really cool dedication plaque. Oh, nope, this isn't the dedication one. I lie. There is one that's dedicated to somebody here. I guess this just shows you what you're looking at.
This is the
informational plaque.
That's metal.
I swear there used to be, yeah. Anyways, the fun thing about this trail is we get to start in Tennessee, which we're doing right now, and then we're gonna actually hike into Alabama. So
no one wants to go to Alabama.
Shots fired at Alabama people. Take that. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing like a huge deal. I don't know. There's something funny about starting in one state and sleeping in the other. So that's what we're gonna do. Pretty good little cliffs here to start us off. I don't know. Stop and Go takes maybe 100 feet or so. That's probably about right. This is one of these weird hikes that when you start off, it feels super easy. I've taken a lot of first timers out here and they're like, oh, this is great. And it's very deceiving even if you've done it multiple times because it is so easy going in, but then on the way out, it's just one constant, very low grade climb out. And it can be pretty taxing. So today's gonna be quite enjoyable. Tomorrow we'll see how it goes.
A little easier for us than Packet.
Definitely. The Packet's cutting his weight down, so. So this isn't just a pretty stream. This is actually the trail. We knew it was going to be a little bit like this. The state of Tennessee has been hit, I mean, a lot of places, most of the states, but definitely in our area, it's affected us for sure, obviously. Been hit with a lot of rainwater. We've had floods everywhere. Yesterday was like the first day in forever it hasn't rained. And it's surprisingly, the ground isn't too bad for as much of we've gotten, but yeah, the trail here, a little damp.
Gotta be honest, this is what I was expecting the entire trail to be.
Yeah, I mean, very well could have been. So no worries for water on this trip whatsoever as far as taking some in. There's definitely a much bigger creek when we get down close to where we're gonna camp. I'm kind of curious to what that looks like. Sometimes it's flowing pretty good and got some movement to it, which is pretty neat. So we'll see. Okay, so just as a point of confusion, when you're coming out, you'll see like the little foot trail signs here. Somebody, I guess, has been confused multiple times and heads up there. You want to go ahead and follow here and then look down here for this other footpath sign. I've done this path enough that I kind of just second nature on it. So I don't really think about it too much, but having Stop and Go with me, this is only like his second time on this trail. It's a good reminder that, yeah, it can be a little confusing. And as he pointed out, sometimes the blazes aren't where you can see them. They're on the side of the tree, so you're actually past it before you even know that it's there. And that's just really the Tennessee side. So once we get to the Alabama side, I'll show you. It actually gets much better blaze, which kind of blows my mind. So good work on you, Alabama. We like to crack jokes on you over here in Tennessee, but you win this round, at least on the walls of Jericho. So having a trail full of mud isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you get cool little stories like this where you can follow all these deer tracks. Been seeing a lot of those through here. As you can tell, it's super muddy. And there's always deer track here. I've never come down here and not seen a good number of it. Funny enough, though, I don't think I've ever really seen any deer while I was out here. So, but they're clearly here. So there's always, as annoying as it is, still something cool to see.
B-roll.
All right, fun fact, stop and go. Are you ready for some fun fact?
Fun fact what?
So, I think we're on the section of trail right now. If not, we're coming up on it. There's a little strip that goes through here. And I learned this from Hobo Scott, who learned it from Tennessee Wildside. So, shout out to local programming. But there is a type of snail, I believe it's called a tiger snail. It's got like a tiger stripe pattern on its shell.
Yes.
That only lives in the entire world.
Here.
In this little strip. Yeah, that comes through here in Franklin County, Tennessee. Super wild. There's been a couple times out here. Funny enough, the first time Scott told me that story, we ran into some of the empty shells, so it was pretty cool. But so there's your fun fact about the Walls of Jericho Trail. You come here and you can see the only place where there are wild tiger snails. So
Not to be confused with the domesticated tiger snail.
right, these are the wild kind. It gets dangerous out here. So cool to get to see the waterfall back there. Normally when I'm on this trail, like none of that's got any water. So definitely a benefit of coming out here after all the rains to get to see something new, make the trail fresh again. So we're definitely trying not to get you in the sun, hoofing it at a better pace than we have the last trip for sure. The Garmin was telling us we're moving at a max of like 3.5, an average of 3.38 or something like that. So back on track for what we're used to doing, which is good. Definitely got a later start than we usually do. I think this is the latest start we've ever gotten.
Pretty sure.
Started like 1 o'clock.
Stop for lunch.
Yeah, stopped for lunch at a restaurant. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to take us super long to get back here, and neither one of us wanted to sit around and twiddle thumbs at camp all day. Though we do have some cool things we want to play with.
Some very cool things.
See how we like them, see if they work. And if they don't, I guess we switch back to the old way, but we'll get into that when we get to camp. So we might be here a little, I don't know if we're early or if we're late.
Did we time travel?
Did we try time travel? 2006 though is when this trail is going to be open for everyone.
Good to know.
So yeah, if you're here in 2019, 2020, just know.
2006.
2006. So TWRA boundary, which means we're about to move into a brand new state. I think I'm actually in the new state.
And I am in Tennessee.
Well, I'll see you later, man. I'm in Alabama.
I'm better.
That's actually true. But now you smell like Alabama as well. So just kidding, Alabama people. You guys have way cooler blazes, which I was wanting to show real quick, but I might have to wait and hop back on here in a second when we find one. But yeah, I'm definitely jealous of the blazes you've got on this trail, on your side. Because I'm like, why has Tennessee not got their act together and got these?
I know.
As I brag about your blazes, they're nowhere to be found.
They're cool, but they're sparse.
And it costs a little too much, so they had to spread them out a little bit. Okay, when we find a blaze, we will show. So until then.
There we go.
Okay, here it is. We had to go several hundred feet or more. Check out this little backpacker street sign thing.
Oh God, I was just recording that whole time.
That's the technical term. So lots of weird footage from Stop and Go will be in his video. But yeah, how cool is that sign? I really like that. Tennessee, get your stuff together, man. Use some of those cool tax dollars. Get us some of those. Those things are rad.
We don't have any tax dollars.
Fair. So down, more down, which means tomorrow just lots of up. So good on the knees this way. So up on the ridge here, this is not the trail, and I normally hate to have to do this, but this little mini river here,
This is a stream normally.
this part normally doesn't exist at all. This doesn't exist. This is all completely dry. All that through there, dry. Just like a dry bed. It's funny, I think one time I made it through here and I commented that I was like, when has this ever had water? Well, today's my answer. Today it has water. As you can see, the trail right there. So that's moving pretty good clip. I guess I'm gonna try to backtrack back that way and get up on this ridge and walk this way. I mean, it could be good practice for the Sheltowee because there's definitely water crossings. It's like this, but I mean, let's be real. If you don't have to get your feet wet and you're not needing to make time, if I needed to make time, I would absolutely just go right through here and go about my business. But since I'm not in a rush, I'm just gonna go ahead and save myself some wet feet. So backtrack, go around the other side, and we'll see how it works.
Very sturdy and trusty bridge to cross. You ready?
Let's do it, man. I mean, come on. It's like a legit river. All right, probably should quit pushing my luck on this thing.
Didn't Sky like get inside it or something?
He did, because he's brave. So this is really cool. This thing's been here for a hot minute now, which blows my mind considering some of the storms that have come through this area. But this thing is absolutely Swiss cheese. I mean,
But what's even more miraculous is it's still alive.
yeah, it's growing at the top. I don't understand.
Like, this thing has buds right now. You can see them. It's insane.
Tough old trees, man. Tough old trees.
I think I've just been taking photos.
So we're on the last little stretch here to where we're gonna at least attempt to camp. There's 3 very designated spots, and usually, especially if you get here early, you can get your pick of it. Sometimes you get some neighbors though that you may not want. So we always try to pick the one that's furthest away from the trail. But this is one of those areas where you just kind of can pick to camp wherever you so see fit. As long as, you know, obviously people with that first camp have made that. It didn't exist. I always think if you can take one of these existing, do that. It's a little bit nicer for everyone else on the trail. But if you do want to kind of get off a little bit, just, you know, leave no trace. Don't be building fire rings if you can camp at one that has one. So, bridge number 2. And yes, I have seen water in this particular area, but normally under extreme circumstances. So go ahead, stop and go try it out. Make sure it all looks good.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome, man.
I'll do that. You ready? Oh yeah, this is the one that leans.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. No problems. No problems. Oh yeah, I see what he's saying. So like it kind of pushes into you, so you kind of lean in.
Yeah, it almost wants to like push
Yeah, like it's pushing you off. So no worries though. Except for this last little section where it slants.
you got
All right.
this.
Man,
It's pretty.
beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day.
I weirdly remember this video.
All right, so almost immediately after you get off that second bridge, this is kind of where the campsites begin, as you can see. And then we've got the South Rim Trail, which goes up here if you want to kind of get up on the walls and look down, which we may do after we get everything set up. But you see, we've got, God, people are making more and more fire rings. I don't know what the why the existing ones aren't good. But yeah, there's several down this direction through here. So we're gonna go check out maybe the very far one, just in case somebody wants to roll in later. Because I have had that happen, and they were very noisy, very messy, as you can see by the gigantic
Cornell
beam.
chili.
Come on, guys. So I tend to try to get as far away as we can. So we're gonna go check that out and see what the verdict is. Okay, working on some setting up here. But before I got far along, I wanted to show a couple things. One is this rad underquilt that Stop and Go made. Carl Step, 950 fill down. I think it's like just right around 15 ounces for the total thing, and it is poofy. So hopefully that's gonna be nice and warm. We've seen the Dream Sparrow from the last trip. Still got the top cover on it. Should be nice. And then new on this, I'm going to try this continuous ridge line again. Stop and Go picked us up some of these Nama claws and just sit there and messed with it. And wow, convinced. Normally I just go off the ends here, either side. Don't have any problems. I can kind of adjust it as need be. But as I just pulled that out, it was way off. It's just a matter of loosening up one end. You pull single-handed with the other, and you don't even have to worry about this side. Whatever side you unadjust, you pull, it automatically tightens. So it's super easy to adjust along the length here. I've got one side a little higher than the other. It's not gonna rain, so I'm probably not gonna fix it. If it was gonna, be coming down, I would definitely do a little more adjusting. I just wanted to see how it would all come together. So I'm probably just gonna call it a day there and batten down the hatches. But just wanted to show you some of the cool new things we wanted to test. I'll probably have to fiddle with that underquilt a little bit before the night's done, just to make sure I've got it dialed in and staying warm. But I'm looking forward to having some extreme warmth on the underside. All right, more of a practice run, but you can just kind of see we did some bear bag line with a Dutch's PCT stick. It's pretty rad. that hang could totally be better. Like I said, it's just more practice. There's no bears here. It's probably more just a semi-protect from raccoons. We're mostly set up here, you can see. Got me there. Stop and go back there. I think we're gonna try to head back and see if we can't make it to the walls real quick, just to kind of see it before it gets dark. Come back here and eat some food and snuggle up. I'm gonna take, the wife bought me a lollipop, Ozark Delight cherry limeade, so it's gonna be my journey to the walls treat. Stop and go tries to figure out his Garmin. You coming along?
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's see how bad this is gonna be. So another cool thing to the walls, but there's also a really old cemetery right here. So Clark Cemetery. There's some really old headstones over there. You can see people go back there. I've been over there as well just to check them out. But if you do, man, just try to be careful. Some of that stuff's super duper old. And this sucker is legit. So this part of the path is normally pretty easy to follow. Once you get this way a little ways back here, it gets a little less so. And I got a feeling it's gonna be even more confusing, considering there's so much wider. But we're gonna go look for this natural amphitheater. Obviously, since it's called the Walls of Jericho, there's some really tall cliff walls back there as well. And man, I've honestly thought about, you can see some campsites right here, but the way I don't know, just the way the water's been up so high, just, yeah, no thanks. So, first time I've ever seen this. It does look fairly new. Zach Stevens. Don't know who he is, but you've got a fancy sign out here now, man.
You do indeed.
And once again,
plenty of fire pits.
Plenty of fire rings, yo. Why y'all? Why? Don't come out here and do this.
Oh, that's a hella nice log, though.
Yeah, one.
Take that back with us.
2, 3, 4. All five way back here. Like, in just the tiniest of areas. Like, oh, I don't get it.
Like they're playing around.
So we were talking about how easy the trail was, but this is the trail now to get back to the walls. It's a little less easy.
A little less.
And you're, up on a ridge, so not a lot of room for mistakes. Also, I probably shouldn't be doing this with a lollipop in my mouth, but live dangerous. It's definitely slick and wet up here. And now we're starting to get a little bit of the views of why the walls back here. And I'm gonna flip you around so you can see this other side because it's awesome. Some big cliff walls there. I don't know any of that means. But it was important enough to have a sign here. Certified by Linda Casey, the state forester. So, I don't know. It'd be cool to find out a little more about why that's here. So I've never paid attention to this before, but it looks like we go back into TWRA property, which tells me we went back into Tennessee. I'm guessing right about now. Many times I've been back here, I've never really noticed that or thought about that this might dip back into Tennessee. So, pretty interesting.
There is so much water.
There's a lot of water. You can see we're slowly kind of making our way into the amphitheater. And we'll see if we can't get across to get to it. We may not be able to, but
It doesn't look like we'll be able to.
we're gonna make it as far as we can. All right, current predicament. So typically you kind of just go across right here, and then there's another little path like right up there that kind of waves around, or you can go over here as well. Most of this is mostly dry. Not so by any stretch of the imagination today. You can see Stop and Go's kind of investigating a potential way over. But even so, even if we were to get over, I'm not sure how much further we could go into the amphitheater. Because you can just see that is shooting out of that chute. But yeah, treasures out here. Somebody broke a trekking pole. Now I get it's inconvenient, but man, if you break the trekking pole, pack that out. Come on now. Seen a lot of trash out here on what should have been an otherwise very beautiful hike. You don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. Come on. We'll see if Stop and Go can make it back. Ugh. All right. So we decided to turn around, not going back. Probably could have been done, but not without some risk. And the reward just not worth being wet. It's supposed to get down to like 35, maybe even lower than that tonight. Probably a little bit lower out here. So, despite having dry, warm clothes and a lot of comfy down back at camp, just don't want to do it. So, maybe next time, but it would have been cool with all this water. Pretty red. All right. Couscous. It's the Parmesan cheese couscous. There's some chicken and asparagus. Oh, it's absolutely the best.
It's like mac and cheese.
Absolutely like mac and cheese. Pretty good. The couscous is super greedy with water. So if I was ever going to do this again, probably just do the two in separate bags and mix them. But it's edible. There's no problems. And the Stop and Go over here is living the high life with the packing gourmet. Oh, I don't think either of us are a big fan of the new packaging.
No,
it's just a little too big, but God, the food's still so delicious.
It is. I'm excited about this. I'm excited. It will be my last time, but. Yeah.
And I might be a convert on this here this whole stove thing. Pretty convenient, so we'll see. Temperature's dropping. It's gonna be chilly tonight, man.
Yeah, it'll be a little chilly.
It's gonna be like at least
I'm excited
35.
to try those underquilts.
We gonna see. I hope I am toasty.
I hope we'll leave a good review in the morning.
Yeah, because otherwise that a-hole who made them.
We're gonna have to write some bad stuff on him.
I'm gonna eat while my food is relatively hot. All right, so the homie that Stop and Go is brought me a package of Mexican style hot cocoa, so we about to drink some of that and have a good evening. He's got some dessert brewing up too. Man, This is why you hike with friends, because they bring you lots of food that you didn't have to carry and you get to eat. So, win-win. But, oh, it's gonna be so good. Let's go. All right, we're tucked in. It's dropping quick out there. It is super chilly. Definitely gonna hit lower 30s. Got my down on so far. The heat already on this 950 underquilt is starting to do its thing. So with the top cover, I've got my down socks on. I'm about to hop in my top quilt here, and I think we're gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be an all right night. It's gonna be a good test for all this, and report back in the morning. See if I'm a popsicle or not. 6 o'clock. What's up, mostly warm? Need to fix the foot end of this underquilt a little bit. I was getting some drafts that were creeping up and making the butt cold. Shoulders felt great though. So the top part has a draft collar on it. Maybe need a draft collar on the bottom part. Don't know. Freezing outside though, so about to rip the Band-Aid off, get up, and start warming up that way. Whew, all right, we are all packed up. We've got bags on our back. Cold because we took the down off. So we're gonna get moving. Moving in liquid breakfast because that's the easiest thing to do. We both had some weird mixes. Mine is a protein powder with some peanut butter powder and some coffee, and yours wasn't that much different.
Nope, I had a little greens powder, carnation instant breakfast, a protein powder, and a Bustelo.
Just easier to do it all in one like that, get it in, and I realized I need to tie my shoe tighter, so I'm about to stop up here and do that before we actually hit the trail proper.
I remember I was complaining about that yesterday.
So I ended up with wet feet, or at least a foot. Tried to be a little too cutesy back here, trying to get around that. Back foot slipped in some mud and almost landed in my butt and paid a bigger price than just having wet feet. So that's a good lesson for me. Just let the feet get wet. I said it before. I don't know why I tried to ignore my own advice, but I did. So
try to get fancy.
Try to get fancy. So it's not the worst though. But
Follow the directions. Sign everywhere. The water's so high. A little bit of water here. What do you think?
it's a tiny bit. Tell you what though, this was great to put me to sleep last night.
I wish it had that same effect on me. Anyway.
Steepness, go, show it.
Steep.
Show it. Oh. Yeah, buddy.
So work your hammies.
So This is the portion we were talking about yesterday where you're having such a good time the day before, and then you come out and you have to deal with the steepness that makes it super deceiving. Me and Stop and Go were also talking about, man, dudes need to have the ability to wear tights in public, and these things are comfy. We just all need to band together, just dudes, and just be like, tights in public, sorry. Everyone's gotta deal with it. Whew. Well, this is a good way to warm you up in the morning, especially when you're cold. Get the blood flowing. Whew. We warming up quick now. It's time to go ahead and take his fleece hoodie off.
I might have to take my buff off.
The buff, even the UV ones will add some heat. Now, if only the hands would warm up, we'd be good to go.
Yeah, that'd be pretty. Mine are pretty good, actually.
Show off.
All right. I feel good.
Ready to do it? Don't forget that.
There we go.
Hey, Stop and Go. Do you feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah? I feel a little funky.
Feel
I feel a little funky. Let me
time
see.
travel?
Let me see. Let me see. Let me get over here. Oh, I feel better over here too. It's because we're in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee. Just kidding, Alabama.
Just
kidding. But not really. Sun's coming up. Look at that. That's nice over there.
Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Looks warm.
What did I convert you to? Scientology?
Yes.
Perfect.
Let me tell you a story. To not using stuff sacks for my bags and shit, I really enjoy just packing them down in the bottom of the pack.
That's right. Saves you a little bit of
Tiny bit
weight.
of weight, but mostly it's just about the.
It fills the pack.
It fits better.
So if you're rocking a frameless,
Yeah.
I mean, if you like to use the stuff sacks for
whatever reason.
organization, that's fine. But the advantage and reason people don't, it's not really so much the weight saving as it does fill the pack and
Yeah,
makes
it's
it
minimal
ride a
weight
little.
savings, though it is.
Yeah, it fills that pack and makes it ride better.
It's
So
just a lot nicer. I like it.
conversion number 1. Dude, you are color coded today, and it's pretty rad.
My gray and
Gray and white all over, man. Nicely played.
I'm into the color blocking.
Dude, if you're not trying to look stylish out here, what are you even doing?
I have my gray joggers, my gray hoodie, my gray shoes.
I'm a hot mess. I got some red and grays
I
going,
look
but
fly at home.
Wee bit muddy. So if you're a hunter, apparently you can park here to hunt.
No, this is the road.
Okay, we just took a roundabout way. So there's this. We decided we'd just walk up it because I've been here multiple times. Flamingo's been here a few times as well. Just curious, it runs parallel to the trail, so I just wanted to see how it might meet back up.
And if you're not curious, you have no business being here.
Yeah. And so it does. It's like literally right there. And normally you walk down just a little bit. So we just missed a little bit of gnarly uphill.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I'm okay with too. And it's not like the road was a cakewalk because it was super muddy and nasty. So,
Exactly.
And now we know where this road goes. And knowledge is power. But back to the regular scheduled trail programming.
Oh, flaky. Flaky like a flaky biscuit. Layers. Sun in the sky.
So despite us kind of messing around and filming and just having a good time, changing clothes, doing all these things, we're back at this first main junction. So you can go this way somewhere, and I believe it loops you back. No, I take it back. This is the one where it looks like you can loop back. But this marker right here is actually telling you to go back up this trail. I've made that mistake a couple times. So
Kept on walking.
just go walking. There's a clear path there to go somewhere.
Because enough people have made that mistake of keeping on
Yeah,
walking.
so but we're killing it this morning.
It's 8:30.
8:30.
So we've been walking. Well, let's see what the Garmin has to say.
We got up at like 6 this morning.
2.5 miles.
2.5 miles. A lot of pedaling though. I put in more because of some back and forth walking.
1.9 miles per hour. Not bad considering we're going
It's just
straight
pure
uphill.
uphill the whole time.
Yeah.
So you get your workout in. And I'm definitely warmed up from when I first got out of the hammock.
Absolutely. How are your hands?
Hands have finally warmed up. They
Good.
no longer look like I have Raynaud's disease.
In full crimp mode.
Right. I don't know, because I noticed this little waterfall up here yesterday. I'll take you up and we'll see it.
It's a pretty little waterfall.
Oh,
So it's a very picturesque little waterfall.
and the sun's coming in, feeling good.
Yeah, it does.
Also, we've got a couple.
This is every day that I want to be out with the prairie. Right here. Just like that.
Like this.
Can we make this happen?
I hope so. We've got this. It's a good little hike. Well, pretty quick way out. Just what, after 9?
Yep. No, just before 9.
Just before 9.
It is 8:49 actually.
Cars right there. So even with us just kind of pedaling around, we're gonna make it out super early.
Fast time.
One last mud pit. Well, that's the trip. Car's still there. Gear was great. I used an underquilt. It would have been very, very warm had I had it set up properly. It was a little draft into the foot end, but the shoulder head end was great. Used some of Dutch's carbon fiber stakes. I like them. You got to be careful with them. That push too hard on a rock and they're definitely snapping. And the Nama claws, pretty cool. I'm okay with those. I think everything else, the stove, all that, obviously pretty self-explanatory. Didn't show this though, in case you're wondering. Here's the map of the whole area. The Bear Hollow, I mean, it's a super short little trail. Easy going in, hard coming out, and it's just fun. If you get to go back to the walls, the amphitheater, it's just a little extra cool thing to hang out. So if you just want to test gear, or if you just want to kind of go all out and bring all your stuff and have a really fun time at camp, this is a good trail for it. So if you're ever in that southern Tennessee, northern Alabama area, just come check this one out. Don't take kindly to poachers here. Nope. You just have to be patient.
Wouldn't that suck? You what?
I said I'm not that kind of person.
I am.